At the time, and actually even 6, 7 years after I took over with Lactigo as Chief Science Officer, I was also Director of Human Performance for Navy Special Warfare at the Combative School at ATC, helping prepare Navy SEALs for combat deployment. Also worked with multiple NFL teams as a consultant and or coaching in human performance. And so, there was a lot of places where I had to use my expertise to try to provide the same end result, right? Whether it's combat athletes, whether it's Olympic athletes, whether it's NFL, NHL, whatever it is, MotoGP with Marc Marquez. I mean, we're all over the place. And typically, what we would do, guys, is what kind of separated us is that we isolated science real well and came up with protocols. So we were one of the first to put athletes in altitude tents. We took that from mountaineering, had those kind of custom built, sleep at altitude, train at sea level, increase EPO by a very predictable percentage by each week at a certain elevation. We would get them, hyperbaric chambers, true hyperbarics where we're putting them below sea level to force capillarization and improve satellite cell migration to help recover from injuries. We have our own elite top of the line world-class stem cell PRP specialists, our own surgeons. Everything is done in-house. That way we have kind of a top-down overview to make sure that the world's top experts are also side by side with us to keep these athletes healthy and return to play. And in fact, we had quite a good run where we maybe had one or two athletes out of several 2 to 300. Combining the Olympic and professional, it would be well over 300. We've only had two or three athletes in that time have a catastrophic injury even. So that's a little bit of that is luck. But certainly when you stack those options together, it provides a great system. And the lacto was kind of the final piece of the puzzle. And what we kind of found is that, it worked so well, we ended up having to put an overtraining warning onto the label because you could take even an athlete, a non-athlete, weekend warrior, anybody that's completely untrained and give them the gel, send them out to do their favorite activity, whether that's mountain climbing, surfing, you know, on the pitch, whatever it is. And they're going to go out there and maybe even outperform their PRs. And it's going to be like, it doesn't make any sense. That's the kind of thing that we would kind of typically see in every demographic, whether it was the elite athletes or somebody that just does something casually. It was the same for everybody. And so I can't really get that even when I combine the whole system that we use with the athletes, right? I mean, you got your strength and conditioning, your plyometrics, your sprint work on the track, because even my non-Olympic sprinter guys, I have on the track sprinting so we can isolate anaerobic capacity, pull their blood lactate, do the whole nine. So, we're doing all of that on top of the other system, and Lactigo can kind of come in and improve beyond what genetic potential will allow. And that's why it is showing what it shows in the research studies, because when you improve buffering capacity, when you improve anaerobic capacity, like we saw with the Olympic 7 New Zealand All Blacks team, that sort of thing is extremely powerful no matter where you apply it.